Hello, good afternoon, VC from the sunny UK, England, the world. Um, I'm Steve, the better known as the headbanging Zulu. I promised in the last film I'll tell you how I got the handle, and some of you may have guessed. I was actually born in Reading, but part of my family emigrated to South Africa. I have a lot of cousins over there, and they all live Joburg, Pretoria, Durban, Cape Town, all over. Big family, and they all settled in South Africa. And so, part of me, my mother's brother, he went over to South Africa and started a family, and that's why always call myself the headbanging Zulu. It was like a fitting name, considering where my roots were. So also I collect a lot of the South African folk music, and whenever I see it in record stores, I pick it up. I've got a few bits here, but I'm not going to pull it out today because what I want to do today, there is a competition going around the or not. Sorry, I've said that wrong. There's a contest on the VC, and basically you have to pull out a band that, to my knowledge, has only ever made one album. Well, I'm going to cheat because I was watching Cloudy's channel the other night, and I bought myself a copy of the Sea Hags album, and I believe this is the only album they ever made. And Scott Walters showed this one on his channel, so I'm not going to talk about that one because Scott's already has. Also, the other one was Scarlet Rain, but Scott again showed this. He had the vinyl, I believe, but this is the other one, Scarlet Rain. I've got the CD version. I believe he had the vinyl. But now I want to add three, I believe, I fished out of my collection today. And I had it didn't take me long because I may have missed a few. But these three bands, as far as I know, only made one album. And I've already shown you two in previous videos. And the first being is The Heretic, Burnt at the Stake, New Album, or New Wave of British Heavy Metal. To my knowledge, that is the only album they ever made. The second band you've already seen is this band, Fastlane. To my knowledge, this again is the only album they ever made. I've looked on Discogs, there's nothing else. This album comes in a variety of cover versions, but again, they didn't make anything else. And here's my addition to the thing. I'm 100% sure this is the Welsh band Cougar, and I think this was the only album they ever did. I may be wrong, but I'm about 99% sure this was the only album they ever made. Yeah, sorry, I'm holding it around. It's Across the Water, it was called, and it has quite a nice cover on there. You can tell it's a bit fakey, but it's a bit cheesy, but that's what it was like. It's 1986. I believe somebody in the band, she had Neville MacDonald on lead vocals and guitar, Neil Garland on keyboards, David Howells on bass, and Martin Williams on drums. And I believe there was a story behind it that somebody left and went somewhere else. But yeah, it's on High Dragon Records, or Black Dragon Records, which is a French pressing. But this is definitely a Welsh band, and as far as I know, that's the only album they ever made. So that's my little contribution. I've only done 3.5 minutes, so if I go now, I feel like I'm cheating you. It's sort of going to be a short film today. I've had problems today with all sorts of stuff, mainly lighting. This room I'm in now is my own place. I came home Monday, and don't ever travel on British Rail trains or whatever they call themselves now. They're awful. You had a main train with only 4 carriages, and people were virtually standing on their shoulders, and there was no oxygen circulating, so everybody was feeling faint. And I managed to get all my stuff home, but stay clear of British Rail. It was quite funny because in Reading Station there came out an announcement over the tannoy, and it says first class on the rear. But the poor guy said it so fast it sounded like first class gonorrhea. And everybody was in hysterics. It's the way he was saying it. I don't know if he's saying it deliberately, but he kept saying it as first class gonorrhea, and we got a great laugh out of that. But anyway, to some more music. But yeah, the next two picks were brand spanking new. I got them such a cheap price, it was stupid to leave them in the record store. This band is one of a German metal band by the name of Halloween. The album called Pink Bubbles Goes Ape. It's got a cracking cover on the back with a guy with two eggs in his face. Yeah, it's can't see which year it is. Looks like 1991 it could be. Don't know, but I just picked it up. It's £8 or something. I'm not leaving it in the record store for that price. I do like Halloween. The early stuff was really good. I showed a Halloween album the other day, the first one they ever did. But I'm not leaving that album in the shop for that sort of money. But the second album is this album, Pantera. And this album's far beyond driven. And there's no way was I leaving this album in the shop. This was Phil Assolino, I pronounced that right, and Dimebag Darrell. It's a double album, and the only reason why it was at the price, I think it was a tenner I paid for it. If I could just draw your attention, I don't think you can see it. There was slight damage to one corner, and that's why they couldn't sell it as a pristine copy. Otherwise, it'd probably be over £20. But she just put this album out, and I say there's no way I'm leaving a Pantera album behind. So I picked them up, and you sort of got two for the price of one. Now, for the next band, I thought I'd show out of my recent duty pickups is a band from America. Now, there's a story behind this album that every time in the 80s I was doing the record shops. This album was always in the bins, or sorry, in the shelves, you know where they store all the records, and I always left it. And on the hindsight, I'm glad I did, because in 1985 I thought I would have said it was a load of rubbish, because I was into bands like Slayer, and I discovered Wasp, and I like the rawness of heavy metal, and that was a sort of like Wasp, just blew my mind. And it was this band by the name of Castle Black. And it's a great album. It's on the Heavy Metal America label, and it's called Babes in Toyland. Now I believe the next one after this was another Dark Carnival, but yeah, I mean it's not a bad album. It's got Regent St Clair on vocals, David Chase on lead guitar, Matthias Montgomery on drums and backing vocals, and Keith Beattie on bass guitar. Yeah, it's not a bad album. It's not a brilliant one. It's a US pressing, but it's just not a bad album. I'll just get it out and show you because it's got a great inner. Look at that for a lead singer. And this is the inner cover of this album, Outclass Black. But yeah, it's a pretty good album. It's sort of I wouldn't have liked it in '85, but I sort of like it now. But it's sort of all different styles, if you know what I mean. But even this inner's worth the £3 or £4 I pay for it. You've got them there like puppets or marionette puppets. But yeah, you see it. But it's just a curiosity for me. Another band I saw a lot, and I just started picking up their stuff, is a Dutch band by the name of Modine. But I know John has shown them on his channel, so I'm not going to show them. But I picked up another Modine 3, a blue one, the other day as well. I was going to show that, but I thought, nah, John's already shown that on his channel. Just show the stuff John hasn't got, and that was a joke. I wasn't meaning any offence, but just a joke. But this is another great pickup, and this was her first album. I've already mentioned this group, and that's Sword. If you ever see this album, pick it up. I think I paid about £6 for this, and it's one of the best albums I've bought all year. It's just a cracker of an LP. They only ever made 2 or 3 albums, and I believe they appeared on a show or something. They were sort of very brief. But it was Rick Hughes on vocals, Mike LaRocque on bass. I hope I've said that. Dan Hughes on drums, and Mike Plant on guitars. And yeah, it's a brilliant album. Definitely pick her up if you get it sort of for a good price. I've already shown you the second album, but that was a really good pickup for me. Now, the fantastic pickup, because it's a local band to me, is this band. Some of you will probably know them, it's Magnum. Whenever I see a Magnum in the record store, they end up in my collection. Magnum are from Birmingham, and there's some cracking tracks on this LP. It's a compilation album. It's got stuff like All of My Life, which is a phenomenal good track, Kingdom of Madness, Invasion, Great Adventure. Then on side one you've got Back to Earth, Hold Back Your Love, Long Days, Black Nights. That's a cracking track. Lonesome Star, Everybody Needs, and Changes. Okay, but with Magnum, they're well famous for their covers. A lot of my friends, they pick them up and actually frame the covers because they're beautiful. Some of them are. It's just an amazing pickup. But whenever I see a Magnum LP, if it's in good nick, they're not very expensive. They ain't going to break the bank. I always pick them up, and I give them away as trades because a lot of people are after them. And obviously, being local to me, a Birmingham band, there's a lot of Magnum fans around here. So I could, I won't trade this off, but you can get some decent stuff. But the next album is a compilation. Excuse me, I just need some throat lubricant. It's a compilation album, and this one's really good. It's heavy duty. It's another great cover. You get all those bands on the back, if you can see all right. Stuff like White Snake, Scorpions, Iron Maiden. The reason why I purchased it was that track, Iron Maiden, Transylvania. I saw them perform that song when they were touring. I think it was No Prayer for the Dying tour. They were at NEC. But it's got April Wine on and Deep Purple Speaking. It's got some good tracks on there. April Wine Again, Roller. She's got some fantastic tracks and a great album. And again, it didn't cost a lot of money. It was just a great pickup. Now, this album is, I believe, there's a band called Panic. And this album got mixed reviews. It was famous because it was produced by the H Team. Now, the H Team consists, I've had to write this down because I don't want to forget it, Steve Hunnelt and Gary Holt. On I Stole Your Love, them two are both Exodus. And Steve Souza, I think, did the backing vocals on the track I Stole Your Love. And it's one of these albums where the first track's really good, but it seems to go downhill after that. It's the best honest way. I'm not criticising it, but it's an honest way of describing this album. But don't get me wrong, there's some great guitar riffs, there's some great licks, and there's some great stuff on it. It's not sort of consistent. It's probably a Division 2 album. It's just not a bad album. As I say, if you read the reviews, you got some really mixed reviews. I think it had the Exodus connection. Even that didn't save it. I'm sure Panic was short-lived. There is another Panic, I believe, in Peru. I may be wrong, but there is a few, or Pennsylvania. But there is a few bands by the name of Panic out there. But yeah, it's a good keep album. I shall definitely keep it in the collection. Now, a fantastic album I picked up this year is this one. This is Uncle Slam, Say Uncle, and this was a fantastic pickup. This is crossover thrash punk, early or late 80s. I can't see. Hang on a minute. I can't see the date. My poor eyesight. This is definitely worth picking up if you see it. It's just got everything you need of an American crossover thrash band. And I believe that Amory Smith, there were Suicidal Tendencies. It was originally a band called The Brood, and I believe they consisted of Suicidal Tendency members. Then the Uncle Slam evolved out of The Brood, and I think, I may be wrong, but the drummer or the bass player was Suicidal Tendencies member. But this album is just a kick. Sorry, it was rude then. Is a killer album. It's just fantastic. It's got a great cover, and it's just looked great for me. I like it a lot. And the next album is awesome. And I don't know if any of you come across it in the V.C. It's a band called Ruthless. This is an EP called Metal Without Mercy. I had to pay a few quid for this. It was about £15. My record budget's only about £20, and I get shaky if I have to pay over that for a record. But this album's an absolute cracker of an LP. The lead singer does sound a bit like Blackie Lawless, Sammy D. But you had Kenny G on guitars, a guy called Steve Tz or TZZ, Jack Black, I don't think he's the actor, and Bryant Scott. And there's the picture of the guys at the back. But this is, to me, is a killer of an album. What I like about it, there's some great licks, great riffs, but he chants. It's not, he sings, but it's more of a chant. And it's that tribal metal. It's sort of like boom, boom, boom. Just listen to it on YouTube. If you ever get a chance of it, pick it up. It's just a great, great LP. It's got a fantastic cover on it as well. I really enjoy this album, and this sort of hits the turntable a lot in our house. Now I'm just having a look at a couple of more. I think I might have reached the end. What I'll do now is doing some CDs. Because I'm at home, I can show you some of them. I've got hundreds and hundreds of CDs, and I've just pulled a couple out. This band is Annihilator. I've actually seen Annihilator live. I believe they were backing Judas Priest when I saw them on the Painkiller 91 or 9. I think it was 91, and this was the support act. And I was always a fan of Annihilator. I've got all their vinyls next door. And this is like the best of. It's got Crystal Ann, Alice in Hell, Welcome to Your Death, and Stop World Salad. I shan't go on, but that gives you a taster of what this album has got on it. And yeah, it's a guy called Jeff Waters. And unfortunately, when I saw them, somebody had walked out that he had to sort of carry the band, and they didn't get a very good reception because somebody had left the band on tour. He literally just walked. That's what we heard. But yeah, they supported Judas Priest. They're a very good band if you ever pick up any of their stuff. They're from Canada. My advice is to pick them up. And this is a great offer. I just want to make the V.C aware of. I've got this Anvil box set. And on Amazon, the UK, they're £9 and you get free CDs. And I've got Strength of Steel, Pound for Pound, Worth the Wait. Sorry, 4 CDs. Worth the Wait, Plugged in Permanent, and Absolutely No Alternative. I've got all those CDs for the princely sum of a tenner, and these are on Amazon. They're really good. I got another one. This is Sanctuary. I picked up 2 albums of theirs, Refuge Denied and Into the Mirror Black. That's another great pickup. I think I bidded on Refuge Denied on eBay, but it just got stupid, or I forgot about it, or it just got stupid, so I didn't bother with it. Now, another CDs I want to show today ain't heavy metal, and I'm aware of that, but I think they're worth a show, and I just want to put the V.C onto him, if anybody's come across him, and I hope you like him, is this fella, Gol Bordello. And this is a new discovery for me, and it's got a great, if you have a look at the inner, it's just a great packing. I hope you can see it all. And basically, this guy's from New York. His real name's Eugene Katz. And this is, I really enjoy this CD. It's a cross between punk rock and gypsy music. And that's the track listing, but it's very social aware. And it's sort of an album you can't have in the background. You've got to listen to what he's singing. And I believe he supported Madonna. That doesn't take anything away from it. It's still a stand-up CD on its own. Forget about Madonna bit. But yeah, it's just a really, really good CD. I only paid £2 for it as well. And I was surprised. Obviously, I heard of him before, but I hadn't got round to getting any of his stuff. I believe he's got 5 or 6 CDs out. But it was just a great pickup. And if anyone in the VC's held him up, or if you want to have a listen, you get it cheap. Have a listen. It's really, really good. I'm enjoying it. I've also got Multi Contra Culti or something versus Irony. That I'd buy the CD with that name on any day. It's just a cracking name for a CD. But again, it's got some fantastic tracks. And it starts off as this like Russian, Eastern European gypsy music. Then it goes into punk rock, and as I say, it's just great, great music, and I really enjoy it. Now, to go another slurp, what are we up to? 19 minutes. The last album I want to talk about is the classic, and it's easy. I think I purchased it on Record Store Day, and it's easily the best pickup of the year for me, and that is Cobra. Now, Cobra were a new wave of British heavy metal band. Sorry, I'm lying. There's another album to come yet. Bear with me. But Cobra, a new wave British heavy metal from Sheffield. They only ever made 2 albums. The second being Back from the Dead. This is the 1985 album. Back from the Dead came out in '87. It's just a classic speed metal album. It is colossally brilliant. I had to pay, I think it was 22 quid for this, but that was over my budget, but I still got it at a discount. She still took a bit off for me, and it's on the the Criminal. No, it's on Criminal Response Records, which is something to do with Ebony Music. But it's just a fantastic album. Cobra were Chris Greer on drums, Sean Parker on bass, Stephen Hughes lead guitar, Paul Edmondson vocals, and Ian Beck lead guitar and vocals. And it's just a colossal album from start to go. And I'd never ever seen it before. That's why I absolutely snatched it up. I'm getting really lucky with this new wave stuff at the moment, like with that Fast Lane album. Just picking this stuff up because I'm after the second album now. But this is a killer of an album. It's speed metal, typical cracking vocals, cracking guitar. It's just got everything. Just check it out on YouTube, and you'll know what I mean. Now, I'd show this album last because I need the VC help with this one because I know nothing about it and friends of mine don't. I picked this up, I think, because with the Cobra album, I picked that up on Record Store Day. And I think I picked this up on Record Store Day as well. And this is, I believe, a New York-based band, I could be wrong, called New York. But it's got a promotional copy sticker, so I wonder what that is. But it looks like an EP to me. And it's called Carry the Torch. And all you got is vocals, Jay, Freddie Foster on bass vocals, Rick Hance on drums, and Johnny G. Lover on guitars. And it's got quite funny. It says dedicated to Moron Harold, New Something York uses any equipment that they can get their hands on exclusively. It's a 1984 release, and we've been trying to find out about it. A friend of mine said it's extremely rare. Maybe it's common in America, I don't know. But I've never seen it in this country. I got it quite cheap, and it just sort of perked my curiosity because I've never seen it before. It sounds great as well. So if anybody's ever come across it in their crate digging before, or may have a copy, I'd be interested to hear. It's just sort of plead out to the vinyl community, so I could do with some information. I've done the usual checks, but I couldn't find much information. Plus the fact, when you put New York in Google, you get a lot of Frank Sinatra and that, what's the name, that New York song they did a few years back, I can't remember, some rap guy. But when it comes to this album, there's very little. But it's also got the Dutch East India trading on the back, this sort of stuff. Yeah, so if you ever come across this stuff, I'll be interested to hear from you. But yeah, the last album, I think I've shown it. Yeah, I believe I've shown it. You've seen the Cobra album. Oh yeah, just do a couple of shout outs. Just want to do one to Merely Chris, a Tune Army fan. Thank you for the lovely comments, my friend. And Corey V.C channel. I believe he's an American guy. I watched one of your videos this morning. Thank you for the kind words. Sorry if I'm not getting back to you. There seems to be some fault on YouTube today. I checked it. It's got some sort of monkey. They're having problems apparently. Also, thank you very much to my 9 subscribers. I'm really grateful. And yeah, I'd just like to say share the peace, and I hope to see you soon. And the next video is going to be called Video Carnage, or Vinyl Community Carnage. And basically what I'm going to do is pull out a lot of stuff that's not heavy metal, but a load of other stuff I own, which is really good. But I just want to say thank you all for watching, and thank you for your patience. It's much appreciated. Thank you for all the kind comments, and just thank you in general. Peace.